Thank you, Chris. We'll see you soon. Tomorrow night, we debut our latest chronicle, Remaking the Mills. All week, we're giving you a preview of some of the stories we're working on for the primetime special.
And there are some sad, even tragic chapters in the textile mill story. Even a deadly event in one small upstate town of just 2,000 people. It was a September day nearly 90 years ago that's now known as Bloody Thursday. Here's Carol Clark.
Even from the air, even years after demolition began, the Chicola Mill is still a presence in Honeypath, but never more so than in 1934. Nationwide, textile workers were going on strike, fed up with low wages and dangerous working conditions.
So in the mills in South Carolina, they do a thing called stretch out. So I can't make you work 12 hours, I can only make you work 10, so I'm going to put you in charge of more machines. I'm not going to give you breaks, and if the machine goes down, I'm going to dock your pay.
It was the depths of the Great Depression.
This town never recovered from 1929, so by 1934, when the strike occurred, the mills had been desperate to earn more money for the stockholders. The orders were down.
Two sides on a collision course. On September 6th, the Union picket line formed outside the mill, but Mill Superintendent Dan Beecham was ready. Decades later, his grandson Frank says he learned to his shock that his grandfather had armed and deputized all the non-union workers and
had put a water cooler machine gun, which was an automatic World War I machine gun on the roof. It happened to malfunction, and that's the only reason a lot more people weren't killed.
That day, a fight broke out between the strikers and non-union workers. 6 died that day. A 7th died days later.
And 30 were wounded. None of the workers were armed.
Dan Beecham lived not far from the mill.
His wife came running down the street shouting, "There's been a killing at the mill and Dan's over there." And so my aunt, my father's sister, heard that.
Bloody Thursday made headlines.
So this huge act of violence made national news in the 30s.
And the funeral made national newsreels. Organized by the unions in a big field.
Has profoundly dismayed and shocked the members of the General Strike Committee.
10,000 people came. 7 hearses took the dead to their final resting place. But there was no rest for the survivors.
The workers were allowed to come to work, provided they promised never to speak of this event again. And penalty for doing that would be to lose your job. You'd be evicted from your company furnished house. Your household goods would be dumped out on the street. The trash pickup people would pick up your household goods if you hadn't moved them out. You would have no place to go. You would have no job. You'd be placed on the blacklist.
So for decades, what happened at the Chicola Mill that day was just not discussed. Finally, 60-plus years after Bloody Thursday, off a small street in a small park, a monument was put in remembering the workers killed that day. It's small too, but crowded with the names of the 7 who died that day and the story of how they died. Above it all, these words: they died for the rights of the working man. Rights did come out of that day.
This helped pass the fair labor laws as the limit to the number of hours of work and child labor laws.
They may have been labeled as victims, but I don't see them that way. I see them as real heroes.
The mill itself is a victim of time. It closed in 2003. Demolition began in 2008 and is still ongoing, with every year, for those who even knew about it, becoming less of a memory.
A new mural went up in Honeypath recently. It is a historic panorama. The history of the town and the events at the Chicola Mill are included. The 7 strikers who died in 1934 are symbolized by an injured dove surrounded by 7 drops of blood. The mural is a former New York City police officer. The artist is a former New York City police officer who moved to Honeypath nearly 40 years ago.
25 years when I first came here and I spotted this blank wall. I said, that's my wall for a mural. There's no doubt about it. Perfect location, perfect light. What it needs is an image.
The painting, which is actually a digital copy, was applied to a building on East Greer Street. It's made of vinyl and laminate that takes on the shape and texture of the surface of the building. The mural is over 47 feet long and over 14 feet wide.
And don't miss this all-new Chronicle, Remaking the Mills. It's coming up this Friday at 8 o'clock at night. That's right here on WIFF 4.